All right, let's jump right in. We've all been there, right? You write something, you think it's perfectly clear, but it just falls flat. It doesn't connect. Well, today we're going to look at a really powerful method to fix that, a way to make your sentences literally jump off the page.
Okay, look at this sentence. It gets the job done, sure. It's a fact, but it's so lifeless. It tells us what happened, but it doesn't make us feel anything about it. It's just information, not an experience.
You know that feeling, don't you? Where the words are just words on a screen. There's no picture in your head, no emotion. But what if you could change that? What if you could take any flat sentence and just inject it with life and feeling?
Well, turns out you totally can. And the key is this wonderfully simple little framework called the ETAC method. It's basically a recipe for turning boring statements into moments that feel real and totally relatable. So, what is this magic formula? Let's pull back the curtain and break down exactly how ETAC works its magic and breathes life into your writing.
So ETAC is actually an acronym, and it stands for 4 key ingredients: emotion, thought, action, and communication. The whole idea is that when you weave these 4 things together, your sentences just feel, well, more human, more realistic. It's the classic show, don't tell in action.
Honestly, the best way to understand how powerful this is to just see it for yourself. So let's go back to that original flat sentence and give it a complete ETAC makeover.
And wow, just look at the difference. The before version is like a line from a dry report, but the after, it pulls you right into the room. You can feel the tension. It's the same exact event, but one is just information, and the other is a full-blown experience. Let's break down how we got there.
So first up is E, for emotion. We're not just saying angry anymore. No, it's intense anger. This is the emotional core, the feeling that the whole scene is built around. But what caused it?
Well, that brings us to C, for communication, the trigger. The subordinate's question gives us the context, the spark that lit the fuse. Putting in a line of dialogue just makes any scene feel so much more immediate, you know?
And this is where it gets really good. T for thought. This little peek inside the character's head is so important because it explains the why. This isn't just a random outburst anymore. It comes from a place of real frustration. It gives the character so much more depth.
Which, of course, leads us to A for action. This is the physical proof of that intense anger. The blood rushing, the hands trembling. These are reactions you can actually picture. You don't just know he's angry, you can practically see it taking over his body.
Okay, so that's a great example. But how do you actually use this in your own writing? You know, for things like social media where making a real connection is the whole point. Here's the thing to remember. Whenever you're writing online, you're not just trying to share information. You're trying to get people to feel something, to understand where you're coming from. You want their empathy. And ETAC, well, it's the perfect tool for building that bridge.
So here's your takeaway, a super simple checklist. The next time you write something and it just feels a little off or distant, just pause and ask yourself, can I add what the core emotion is? Can I show the inner thought? Can I describe a physical action? Or maybe include some communication? You don't even have to use all 4. Sometimes just 1 or 2 will completely change the game.
Because that's the goal, isn't it? To stop writing flat facts and to start creating these little living experiences for your reader. When you use emotion, thought, action, and communication, your words stop being just words. They become a genuine connection. So, go on, write something that lives.